Welcome everyone to this Google Hangout. This is with the mission control team in Monaco and André Borschberg. You can actually hear some of the radio voice from André in the cockpit right now. Maybe let's quickly just everybody introduce themselves. We've got Raymond Claire, who's our mission director, and so say hello, Raymond.
Hi.
And then we have Luc, who's one of our fabulous Belgian weathermen. And next to him is Michi, who's one of our flight directors, and Nicholas, and then we'll have others joining shortly. But Raymond, maybe let's start with you. And you know, do you have any? You've worked with André for many years now and have a lot of experience with Solar Impulse. Do you have any thoughts on the past years and what's been happening?
Oh, I think it's great to be here in Monaco, leading this fabulous team who developed since 2010 for the first flight to Geneva. I remember where we had the mission control center in a car following the aircraft, and now we are here in Monaco, and the team is just fantastic. And I'm very happy that everybody can have this opportunity to speak directly to André.
Excellent. And André, I should have checked first. Are you connected? Can you hear us?
Coucou.
Looks like André is just putting in his headset or having a snack, maybe.
Hello?
Hello, André, are you there? Ah, there we go. André, can you hear us? Looks like we are still having some connection issues with André in the cockpit, unless André, can you hear us now?
Kerry, I can hear you, but before that, it was not easy to understand the engineers. I think there was distortion on the line. It was not like, you know, I have an interview one-to-one with someone. I don't know if it's a system issue or not.
I think we'll sort it out, but I think it was actually Raymond, and Raymond, if I can ask you to repeat what you said just now about the mission control in a car. I think André can hear you now.
Yes, André, I was just remembering the first mission flight we had together. You were flying from Payang to Geneva, and we had the mission control center in the car. Philippe Lauper was driving, and I was with the VHF following the aircraft. It was so good, and now the difference here from Monaco, you go around the world. We're here in Monaco with a great team, and it's fantastic that everybody now can have the opportunity to speak with you.
Yeah, that's great. But that's true. I mean, I was reading my notes also at the beginning, and the way we were operating. This time I thought that we were already pretty advanced in terms of preparation and safety and so on. But when I read it, I say, my God, we were crazy. I mean, compared to what you guys are doing today. That's true. That's not the same world now. That's a different world.
Absolutely, yes. But finally we learned by doing, and touch wood, but we were lucky not to have huge issues, so it's fantastic. The result is just fantastic.
Yeah, because I think you guys, you focused on thorough preparation, simulation, trying to understand every issue we could encounter, and of course, I mean, we build with experience. I mean, we build over time. We added a lot of things, but the amount of preparation that you guys have been doing over the years is incredible. I think if people understand that we started thinking about the flight around the world, I would say 10 years ago. And because we needed to understand what it meant and how to get prepared, and we started to do the first simulation with Luc and a small team, and you, of course. And over years, in fact, we try to better understand the challenges. Huh?
Yes, and we actually have Luke here as well. So maybe Luke, you remember those early days. Yes, Luke, it's you. But I think you need to be a little bit closer to your microphone. There we go.
Hello,
Oops.
hello.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
You're on.
So I remember me since 2004, 2005, first meeting in Brussels. I met there for the first time.
You're on mute again for some reason. Let's see, is there a better, maybe somebody, here, I'm going to jump to Mishi next, and then we'll go back to Luke when he's got his microphone organized. Mishi, are you there? Oh, sorry, Andre, go ahead.
But yeah, just because I think Luc was talking about the first time we worked. I mean, we met first, we worked together. Well, Luc had known Bertrand since many years because he did all the different flights and the preparation and the routing for the balloon flight around the world. So they knew each other very well. We didn't know each other, so we started. Yeah, that started more than 10 years ago now. The first time was in Brussels at your office in the IRM.
Yes, and perhaps Luke, are you there again? Does your microphone work?
Yeah, do you hear me?
Voila.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I remember those times in Brussels, Geneva, then Dubendorf, and then finally Payerne, and now finally Monaco, above the water, just in front of the Mediterranean Sea, where we see on the horizon André flying to the east. So this remembers because at the first we didn't have any simulation. It was guessing with the wind charts where the aircraft could be after 10 hours, 15 hours, one day, and then we found always a good window through the weather, but it was always wrong afterwards when we saw the calculation of the simulation team.
But that's true. I think the miracle came, in fact, when we could bring together on one side Altron's team in simulation. I mean, bringing you the tool to know where this airplane will be. I mean, I guess it's difficult for people to understand that it's difficult, but when you climb every day to 9,000 meters and you go down by night, you cross so many layers of atmosphere that it's very difficult to know what will happen. And when you guys could start bringing all these technologies together, I mean, we made miracles. Huh?
I have something to add. The fantastic in this adventure is that when you are flying, you or Bertrand, the weather team has nothing to do anymore because you are so prepared that we don't have any surprises anymore.
Oh.
Well, I had one. I had a small one a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
No, but you know what's impressive for me? It's that you guys, I mean, Luc and now you know Wim. You not only make a forecast, but you qualify it. So we know when you feel it's the right moment to leave or not. So it's not you don't present some facts and say, I mean, the guys decide. You know so much and so well what we are doing. That's you guide us also in the decision, and I think this has been very, very important in each moment that we had to decide go or no go. And for example, over the oceans was critical moments. Huh?
Yeah, in fact, the crossing of the oceans were not so difficult because, I say it again, we were so prepared.
And actually, another person working on the preparation was as air traffic control, as Nick. Maybe Nick, you've got some thoughts on what it's been like to prepare these flights and work with Andre.
Yes, of course. Andre, I remember very well our first flights in Bayern, and from Bayern to Geneva, with a big mess there, finally, with traffic holding everywhere. And you don't hear me anymore.
No, I think we do.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, fine, thank you. So, and then we went to Zurich, and I went to the tower. We turned around on the runway, this aircraft, and you took off again with a little problem after departure. So that is really things we do stand by. There must be something wrong here.
No, it's all, we can hear you.
Oh, no. Okay. So these are all memories I have, how we did our organization of the routes compared to what we do now. It was really a piece of cake. Now even you don't know yet, but what is ahead of us, it's not the easiest what we have to do. So if we compare this with 6 years ago, it's really a big difference. And we have a lot of support from all our engineers, from the whole team. We have also your support and the one of Bertrand, which is very important. And that makes that we can do our best to get you to the final destination, which is Abu Dhabi in a few days, which is just incredible.
Nick, you don't do your best, you do miracles. I mean, you guys also do miracles, because it's clear that we are very disrupting in terms of aircraft among all the traffics, and we are always also willing to be at the places where there is a lot of people. So for you, it's a huge challenge. But you had already a lot of some experience, or a lot of experience, or an immense experience. I mean, not just by being a controller yourself, but by routing Bertrand doing the flight around the world. So you know these expeditions. You know also that you prepare on one side, and then you have to react on new things at the last minute. So it's a 24 hours a day job as well. Huh?
Well, what is really passionate in the job we do here is that we need a lot of communication skills. So we have to talk to all the people around the world in different languages. Normally it is English, but we really can. I learned personally a lot first of typing. What I read mails the whole day. I'm writing mails, so I improved in English and in typing. And secondly, also in communication, in discussion, to know how to get people to get them on our side and to open the doors. So we try to do that, and during these let's say 6 or 7 years, we learned just a lot. I must be quite a good communicator now, but I'm going to retire.
Well, Nick, your English is excellent, but we're going to have a typing test later. Andre, go ahead.
Yes, Nick, imagine the number of friends that you made now in all the different countries that we crossed there, because you know them well. Maybe you didn't meet them yet, but you know them very well.
Yes, and I know that my wife told me that we have to go to Hawaii. I already put some shirts apart, and I will get some shirts for Glorian, from David, the other David, to Norman. They will get shirts of Solar Impulse.
I think your wife knew that before Solar Impulse. You just didn't.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to suggest that we turn to Mishi now. So actually, somebody's started his career has sort of blossomed at Solar Impulse, if I may say that. But yeah, Mishi, maybe you've got some thoughts and sort of I guess maybe the young representative of the crew here speaking on this Google Hangout.
Sure. Well, when I heard the name André Borschberg first, it was in Payerne, and that was the time when I had the honor climbing up to our supporting structure for the first airplane, and I saw André Borschberg, this famous, to me, unknown guy, landing, and I had the honor to take out his first pee bottle after that flight. So Since then, we since then we really grew together here with the team, and I'm really happy to having done this journey with all the people here, with all the people working in the project, and yeah, it's just it's just fun.
For me, Michael, you are really a great example of someone who has made his job, developed his job, find its way, realized himself, and grew up so in such a wonderful way as also as a human being, not only in the profession. And this project, I think, has brought opportunities also for a lot of people. And I guess I also got so much out of it in terms of human interactions and you know, about myself and about the other. And I'm sure it's the same. It's the same for you. And how you manage this team, you lead this mission engineer team. It's fantastic there. So it should not be the end of the story. It should be just the beginning of a new one.
That's true, and in fact, I think the team is the reason why everybody is so motivated. And to have that great team, I think there must be a strong lead with a good vision and a good reason for the people to be so motivated. And actually, we all together, I think, grew a lot with the team. When I look around here in the mission control, we see very young people, we see the more elderly people, and we grew all together. We merged our knowledge. We really did some kind of symbiosis because when we all started in mission flying to bring simulation together with meteorology and pilots and flight test, whatever, that was it was a challenge, but a good one.
And we actually have another one of the we've got Andreas here as well, so another member of the mission engineering team. Oh, he's on mute though. Sorry. So Andre, go ahead and say what you're going to say. I'm sorry I interrupted you. I just wanted to introduce Andreas. But Andreas, make sure you're unmuted.
I'm not sure I understood you. You bring somebody in the discussions or not?
Yes, sorry about that. It's Andreas, but he's just muted. So I think you were going to go ahead and say what you were going to say to Mishi before I interrupted.
You know, it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting these moments that we go through now because on one side we reflect a little bit on the past because we feel that we get to the end. On the other side, we have to be so concentrated not to make a mistake. I don't know if it's the same for you in Monaco. But that's a bit the situation I live in the airplane. We know it's not done yet. We know that we really have to be careful. Of course, we learned a lot. I mean, we said it. But there's this nostalgia, maybe not nostalgia, but also flashbacks or memories or moments which have been so intense that are slowly coming into the picture. So for me, this particular mission that we do now is very special because I remember what Raymond said before. I remember when Michael joined as well. And in fact, sometimes I have to force me to remember who Michael was at the time when I see Michael today. You know, the head of the but because you joined as a youngster. I mean, you just were a graduate. And today you lead this team. So, but all these memories, in fact, are coming out and filling up my flight as well.
And Andreas, go ahead. We've got another young in here, another member of the mission engineers. Oh, Andreas, again, you need to fix your mic. Sorry, you're still not working. Andreas, maybe again you need to fix your mic. So Christoph, are you there? Do you want to unmute? And Christoph? Christoph, you need to unmute first.
I think is it okay now?
Oh, perfect. All right, we've got Christoph here, so we'll go back to Andreas in a second. But Christoph, yes, so one of our mathematicians.
Yeah. Hello, Andre.
Oh, you
Hi,
are
Christoph.
muted. Oh.
Hello, I think you can hear me, Andre.
Yep, we can.
Okay. Andre?
Yes?
Okay, Andre, it's really a pleasure to be with you today as you are flying the penultimate flight of this RTW adventure.
It's a pleasure to listen to you, Christoph. And I also remember. Yes.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I remember I mean, long time ago when you joined, because you are one of the first who came in and brought all your knowledge to help us build the model of the airplane, which would lead ultimately on one side to be able to take decisions on the design, and on the other side afterwards to use it and get a simulation tool.
Yeah.
Can we hear each other or not?
Yeah. Perfect. Yes. You're right.
And these were, I think, also critical moments in the project. And then when these were brought together with Luc and Wim, in fact, to bring on one side the science of methodology and the expertise in simulation, that what allowed us, in fact, to be able to find our ways and to find solutions.
Yeah, and you were talking about memories, and especially I remember, just before the first official virtual flight in Brussels, we had this, I would say, trial of virtual flight 1 year before. And it was, very special because we were working in Ultron offices in Paris. Luc was working in Brussels, and the other solar impulse engineers were working in Switzerland. And we were sharing every day some results of simulation so as to be able to see what could be an optimized virtual flight, sharing data and analyzing things. And at this moment, we were just able to compute one update per day on a single PC and so on. And today, we are able to compute updates on demand with the most accurate data available. So it's a wide range. I mean, it's a gap between what we had in 2005 and what we have today.
So we were right to start very early, because we knew that we needed quite a long time to figure out the way to do it.
Yeah.
I think we had to learn and to go some. And I have the impression we have been lucky. When I also look back at some missions we did, Raymond was mentioning the flight to Geneva in Switzerland. I was also remembering the flight we did to Brussels. And then leaving Brussels, Brussels to Paris and coming back. When I read my notes, they also am sometimes a little bit shaken by the way we did it and the luck we had, because I think we were lucky as well. But you need this. You need hard work, a little bit luck, and dedication and good energy, and all this mixture allow us to move forward.
Yeah. Solar Impulse is an adventure which is full of symbols, and I think I'm going to give you one that maybe you don't know. Do you know how many, what's the distance flown by the aircraft in the simulation? In simulation, all along those 13 years. Do you know what's the distance flown by the aircraft? No,
I don't know.
It's amazing. No,
it's from
no. It's 40,000 billion of kilometers, the same distance between Earth and the nearest star, you know, Alpha Centaurus. 40,000
Incredible.
billion
I was going to say
kilometers.
it's from the Earth to the Moon, but I was maybe too short.
Oh.
So, which means that for the, I mean, to complete the round the world adventure, which means 40,000 kilometers, each kilometer of the, I mean, you actually fly, needed 1 billion kilometer in simulation.
Sounds like a lot of simulation work.
It's impressive, huh?
I'm going to interrupt here and introduce Andreas, because he hasn't had a chance to say anything. Sorry, Andre, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but now we've got Andreas.
Hello, Andre. So now the microphone works.
Hi, Andreas.
Yeah, actually, I just joined the team, a couple months before the Round the World started. So I guess I'm pretty new, or I am one of the newest members in this team. So yeah, it's now almost two years, but it's been a great welcome by the whole team, and this is really great that I had this amazing welcome by the team, and that I have been accepted by everybody here. That is really something I will always keep in mind, and also the adventure around the world is amazing. So the flight itself is great, but also the people you meet here and the people you have here in the team are very interesting, and have experienced a lot of different things. And also you with your experience in different kind of fields, in engineering, in flight operation, piloting, managing, and also Bertrand with his experience he had with all the adventures he had, and also the communication skills and his skills to work with people. It's great to work with all of you together.
Yeah, thank you, Andreas. But I think we were lucky to find you, because I think without you it would have been difficult as well. So you joined late, but you got into the loop very quickly, very efficiently. You are an incredible guy, so it's really great to have you on board. And you know what, I was discussing this morning with someone. I think important in such a mission is the trust. Because at the end, you trust the engineers with what they do, because they build an airplane. At the end, they take the responsibility that it's going to be fine. And the trust between the MCC and the pilot is incredible. And for me, this was the central part of the goal. Of course, you need tools, but then you need a lot of trust. And I think the trust that we have been able to create with the team, and I guess it's also because you have a great boss. Raymond is a person that I know since a long time. So. For me it's evident, but that's a person who knows how to create trust, and I think that's extremely important.
And actually, I think we're going to have to wrap up fairly shortly, but I'm going to turn to, you were just speaking about Raymond, so I'm going to turn to Raymond to wrap up the conversation.
Okay, so the last message is I show this badge we created for the MCC. And we try to think so you can fly around, but of course you are thinking with us, and it's fantastic to be together with you, with Bertrand.
Thank you, Raymond. Great team, great values, and I think that's the most important element, and I'm sure that's what makes the difference. So fantastic working with you guys.
Well, thank you, Andre, and safe flying, and we'll see you in Cairo.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Good.